All right, guys, we are still dealing with factoring. We're still doing the same information that we have been doing, okay? But today is actually going to be nice and easy, okay? This is actually going to be a really, really kind of soft day, okay? I want to look at your calculator just really, really fast. I want you to find the square root button, okay? It is find x squared on your calculator, and you're looking for a radical. You're going to use this today. Do you guys see the above the x squared button? You have x squared, and then it looks like this on your calculator. Now, if anybody's watching online, this is on the TI-84s, okay? Now, today, you can use the square root pretty much anywhere. Now, what color is the square root symbol on your calculator? Blue. So to get to that, you would actually hit the blue button, which I believe is second. So you would hit second and then that x squared to get to that symbol, okay? So if I ask you to hit the radical or hit the square root, that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to hit second because it's blue. Your second button on your calculator is blue. So that's how you work those buttons. To get to certain symbols, you have to look at the color. If it's green, you hit the green button. If it's blue, you hit the blue button. Okay, so that's how you get to those buttons on those calculators, okay? Did anybody not know that? Okay, it's all color-coded. All right, good. Everybody did. All right, so today we're going to talk about difference of squares. We're going to talk about just a quick refresher on some things. All right, warm up. You guys remember how to do these? X minus 4, this is the box method, right? So x minus 4, x plus 4, x minus 4, x plus 4. You guys remember this? Multiply binomial, binomial. What's x times x? X squared, good. What's negative 4 times x? Negative 4x. And then we've got 4 times x, which is positive 4x, right? And then what's 4 times negative 4? Negative 16. Now, here's what's interesting about this, and this kind of sets you up for today's notes. We're talking about difference of squares. Okay, what we mean by squares is numbers that are like basically perfect squares. Okay, like what's 1 times 1? 1. What's 2 times 2? 4. 3 times 3? 9. 4 times 4? 16. 5 times 5? 25. 6 times 6? 7 7? 8 times 8? 9 times 9? 10 times 10? 11 times 11? 121. You're close. 12 times 12? 13 times 13? Ooh, close. 168? 169. 14 times 14? Yep. 196. All right, let's go one more. 15 times 15? 225. Okay, we'll stop there. Okay. Now, those are your perfect squares, okay? As high school students, I would love for you, now I'm not telling you have to know them, but that would be good information just to have, okay? Just basic knowledge, okay? But here we go. So we got x squared. Yes? Everybody with me on this? X squared. And then we've got positive 4x and negative 4x. What happens to that? Why do they cancel out? Does anybody know? 4 minus 4, but look at the problem. What do you notice? We have a negative and a positive, and everything matches. Yeah. What are you going to leave it as a return? I'll let you borrow a pencil, but I get something in return. Shoe. Drop a shoe right there. Okay. All right, there we go. You guys keep wandering off of my pencils. Okay. All right. Doesn't stink, does it? Okay. All right, here we go. So we have positive 4, negative 4. Everything cancels out, right? What's left? Negative 16. You guys with me on this? So if you notice, we have I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to go x squared minus 16. I don't like the way they fill it out. I'm just going to give you the answer. Okay. So let's do this. Does everything match on this? I'm going to show you the short way to do this. This is actually kind of nice. What is 5 times 5? 25 what? M what? Squared. Okay, so those are done. Now, because I can do it this way because everything matches. You guys notice that? I have 5m plus 1. I have 5m minus 1. So everything's going to kind of cancel out in the middle. So I can actually do the math this way. What's 1 times negative 1? I'm done. It's actually my answer. Kind of a shortcut, isn't it? If I do the box method just for the heck of it, let's do it like this. 5m plus 1, 5m minus 1. I've got 25m squared. That's what we had, right? Negative 1. So we know that, correct? But check out the diagonals. We have 5m times 1, that's positive 5m. 5m minus 1 is negative 5m. What happens? They cancel. Okay, so we don't really have to worry about it, okay? So when everything matches except for the sign, you can actually do this little shortcut method, okay? This is called the resulting product. These are called difference of squares. Now, what's 4a or what's 2a times 2a? 4a what? 4a squared. Okay? It's a perfect square. If you guys notice, all of my answers are perfect squares. 25, 16, 1. That's a perfect square. What's this one? 4. 2 times 2. Okay, right? All right, what is 3 times negative 3? Negative 9 what? B what? I'm done. It's a perfect square. It's a difference of squares. And what do you notice about all the answers? Look at all the answers that I wrote down in the middle. What matches on every single one of them? They're all the same format. They're all binomials. What else do you notice? They're all what? Say it. Hold on, Tyson, say it. They have a negative in the middle. That's the only way this works out. If it was a positive in the middle, it would not work because they have, listen, how do you cancel out a positive? With a what? With a negative. And if the signs are different, it's always going to multiply to be a negative. It's always going to be multiply to be a negative. If the signs match and it's a positive, you can't cancel out. You can't cancel out two negatives by adding them together. There's no possible way to do it. Okay. Everybody good? Semi good so far? All right, here we go. First, difference of squares. Let's make sure you have actual difference of squares. There must be a subtraction sign. That's what Tyson just told me. They have to have a subtraction sign, and you can square root both items. Okay, both of them. That's where the little radical symbol comes in. That's called a radical sign. Okay, it's not like a radical. Okay, it's actually called a radical. All right, and then we use the following rule to factor. A squared minus B squared is this right here. Here's your actual rule. A plus B, and then A minus B. That's the actual rule. That's the actual rule. We're going to take this. What does A squared mean? A times what? There's my A times A. What does B squared mean? B times B. So we've got B and B, right? B times B. This minus sign means the sides are going to be what? Different. You guys remember that when we factor? You guys remember that? All right. Because ultimately what this means is, the other day when we had this, AX squared plus BX plus C. What you have is you still have the AX squared, you still have the C, but there is no B, which means if we did the X thing, the middle number is 0. So you're looking for two numbers that multiply to be, or that add together to be 0. Ultimately, they cancel each other out. And to cancel out, they have to be the same number. So think about it this way. What two numbers multiply to be negative 9? 3 times 3 and what? Huh? And 9 times 1, right? But because it's negative, they have to be what? Different. So check this out. If I have a positive and a negative, what does that have to be? 0. So they cancel out. So that's ultimately what we're doing. We're still doing factoring. We're still doing the X method. We're canceling out the middle number is what we're doing. We're looking for numbers that cancel. Does everybody semi understand what's going on? Okay. You're going to get some more examples. Okay, I promise. All right, here we go. Let's do the first one. Number 1. If you notice, your worksheet is just a whole bunch of examples. Would you agree? That's really all it is, just a bunch of examples. Okay, so the only way to get better at it is just practice it. All right, let's do number 1. What is A squared if I split it? A times A. And then what's negative 4? If I do the radical 4, what's the square root of 4? If you don't know, you always put it in your calculator, by the way. What two numbers multiply to be 4? 2. So it has to be negative, which means one's going to be positive, one's going to be what? Negative. We're done. That is literally it. That is it. Don't overthink this. I mean, you're like, okay, that seems way too easy. It does. It almost seems like there should be more, yes? There's not. Okay? When you have a negative, listen, the signs split. Would you agree? Yes? And then I just do the square root of the last number. That's what difference of square. That's the beauty of difference of squares. You just take the square root and just split them, positive and negative. Okay? So look at number 2. What's my letter? What letter is it? N squared. N times N. Now, what do I do with this negative? How do you get a negative? You do what? You split it into what? Positive and what's the square root of 64? Positive 8 and negative 8. We're done. That's it. Because if I multiply it, let's check this. What's 8 times n? 8n, right? And then I do this one, it's negative 8. What's 8 minus 8? No, 0. They cancel. That's the whole point. The diagonals cancel, okay? All right, let's go to, let's do number 3. I know it looks kind of funky. Just go in order, just like you have them, okay? I know it looks funky. It's fine. What's the square root of 81? Hold on. What is the square root of 81? Put it in your calculator and practice that. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and practice it. Hit second and x squared and put an 81 in there. What'd you get? 9. Okay. Now, I know this is in a different order. Everybody look. Don't let this freak you out. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Watch. We're going to go in order. What's the first thing that's listed here? A squared. So what did we start with? A, and we started with the letters. What's the first thing that's listed here? The numbers. What's the square root of 9? Or 81? 9 and 9, right? The letters can be second, guys. The letters can be second. Watch what happens. This minus sign means what? I'm going to split. Positive and what? Negative. And what is x squared? X times x. We're done. Yes, sir.
If you see a problem like that, that's backwards. Can't you just in your mind flip it and then just have the
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because we're not solving an equation. We're factoring a trinomial or a polynomial. So I would just leave it like it is. Because if you start moving stuff around, you're ultimately probably going to make a little simple mistake. Okay? I would not do that. All right. Go ahead and do number 4. Go really, really quick. What's first? So you should have a letter to begin with. My coffee needs sugar. I think I'm just about out. No. Kobe. Oh. Okay. Because I didn't say what? I didn't say eat. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'll try again later. Okay. All right, what'd you get, guys? C plus 10, C minus 10. Good. Do number 6. Let's do number 6. Go. Don't overthink it. Go number by number. Sign by sign. Just go in order. You have a 1, and then you have a minus sign, and then you have a 49 with a y squared. Split the 49, split the y squared. Hold on. If y squared, I see some confused faces. If y squared was by itself, what would it be? Y times what? Y times y, right? So there's a 49 on it. Who cares? What's the square root of 49? 7. 7y, 7y. Hold on. Let's do the ones. I still see some confused faces. That's all right. This is my job's to see your confused little faces. Okay, that's the way it goes. All right, what's the first thing I see? How do I get 1? 1 times what? 1. And then we got the minus sign. So I'm going to go plus and minus. What is the square root of 40? Let's start with the 49. 7. So I'm going to go plus 7 and minus 7. Good. We took care of that. What's next? Y squared, which is y, and I'm done. That's it. Yes, sir.
Does it matter if you go 1 plus first or 1 minus first?
Does not matter. I just like plus first. Okay. If you want to put minus first, you're more than welcome. You can knock stuff out. Okay. You do you. You do you, boo. Okay. All right. Everybody good? Let's go to the next page. We're not going to go through all of these. Okay. Let's start with number 7. You know what? I'm not going to do number 7. I always do number 7. Let's do number 8. Let's see if we can do it. Go. Start with the left and just work your way down. Everybody with me? Don't put the signs until you get to the sign. Do the 25, do the x squared, do the signs, and then do the last number. Yes? Everybody kind of like, okay, I kind of get this. Yes? If you do it in just term by term by term by letter by number, whatever, it's a whole lot easier. How do I get 25? What's the square root of 25, guys? 5 and, well, no, 5 and 5, right? So that's done. What about the x squared? X squared and x squared. Or I'm sorry, x and x. Yes? Everybody's good, right? I see a lot of nodding. Everybody's like, okay, I got this. All right. So then we got the minus sign. So we, just for the sake of Elliot, we're going to go minus and then plus. It doesn't really, you're good. It doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter. How do I get 49? 7 and 7. Look at my two binomials. They are the same thing with just a different sign in the middle. That's all it is. And that's why everything cancels in the middle. That's why my B cancels out. You guys good? I'm not going to work through all of these. Let's do, Alex, pick one.
9.
Cool. Let's do 9. He likes the bigger numbers. Go. Let's do number 9. Hey, real quick while you're doing that, 1 to 5, show me where you're at right now. I see some really good numbers. You guys are like, man, I see a 6. Okay, good. Overachiever. Okay, go. That's just good teaching. Just saying. It's Friday. It's a Friday. It's the Friday before spring break. So happy spring break. The next time I see you guys after today, it'll be March 24th. that's a long time. So then we finish that week and we pretty much start right after that. Oh, by the way, you have a test on March 26th. Okay, good. It's Thursday. You'll come back on Tuesday. You'll probably have an assessment on Thursday. Okay. You know it's coming. Like, we got to have them before the start begins. All right. Let's do it. Who wants to walk me through it? Alex, go ahead. Walk me through part of it.
So the square root of 16 is 4.
Cool.
Besides a squared is just a.
And good. Okay, somebody else. Go, Elliot. Good job.
And then add a plus sign.
Okay.
And then negative sign the other one.
Cool.
And then the square root of 121 is 11.
And 11 and 11. We're done. You guys, we're cooking now? Everybody's good? Do I need to go through any of these? Cooking with peanut oil? All right, let's go something a little harder. I mean, there's always something a little harder. Would you agree? All right, let's do this. Let's go to, let's do number 13. You know what? No. Let's do 14, just because I can. Let's do 14, just because I want to. What's up? Hold on. When we had this one, let me back up just a little bit. Let me show you something. When I had this, I'm sorry, x squared minus 25. This would have been x times x, right? Yes? Okay. Now, what is that in comparison to that? It's half. Would you agree? So x, we took basically both x's. We went x1 here, and we took one of them here, and we took one of them here. So if I have n to the 4th, I have 4 of them. So how many are going to go into each one? There we go. Now figure it out. Go. You always take half. You always take half. Okay? Because how do you get it? What's into the second times into the second? Into the 4th. Everybody's like, you know, one of my favorite parts of teaching is when I explain stuff like that to you, and everybody does the same thing all at once. Oh. Like when everybody does that, it feels pretty good. It is relieving because, like, okay, you get it. Okay, so my answer should have been this right here. Who wants to try to explain it? Mia, good job. Thanks for volunteering. Perfect. Okay. Yep.
Okay, and then n to the 4th, so it's 2n.
Nope, not 2. Is it 2 n's or what do I do? How would I write that? N squared. N squared. I was making sure you didn't say 2n. Now you said 2 n's, which I assumed you meant n squared. Okay. No, you're good. That's what I assumed. Okay. Finish it.
And then I guess negative.
Pause. Oh, negative for Elliot's. Thank you for Elliot's sake. -5 and +5. Good. All right. Good. Everybody good? If you look at it, do you guys want me to do the box method and check it for you, or you guys believe me? I see a lot of people like, no, just please go on, coach. We're done. We trust your wisdom. Okay. Do number 15. Go. 15. I see a lot of writing. I see a lot of erasing. I see some confused faces. Answers on the board. This one cannot be factored. The 4c squared can. Is there a perfect number for 5? No. Did anybody do radical 5? What'd you get, like 2 point? Yeah, like a stupid decimal. In other words, there's not a perfect square for 5. Okay. So if there's not a perfect square, it will not work, which means there's nothing that can go into it, which means the answer is prime. You guys with me on this? So don't be scared to say, you know what, there's nothing that works. You guys know your perfect squares. Is 5 one of them? No. There's no 2 numbers that will multiply to be 5. Okay, you have 2 times 2, which is 4. The next one is 3 times 3, which is 9. We skipped right over the 5. Okay, so don't go with it. All right, let's go to 18? Nah, that's too easy.
19.
Let's go to 19. 19 looks fun. Like Coach Moy, your definition of fun and my definition of fun are 2 completely different things. Anybody else sit around during summer and just do algebra? Just you? Is it just me? Okay. I actually have algebra books at home that I'll just start working through when I get bored. Well, I like algebra. All right, here we go. What's the square root of 121? 11. So that part's easy, yes? So I got 11 and I've got 11. Now I've got R6, which means I have 6 of them. R, 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 R. I sound like a repeating pirate. Okay, cool. How many R's? If I split it in half, how many go to each one? 3. So R to the third, R to the third, R. Okay. Now what? +1 and -1. We're done. You guys are like, I can do this. Is not too bad. Okay. It's actually kind of easy. Yesterday, I think, made it a little bit easier. Where's my little clicker? Oh. I was like, where'd my clicker go? All right, here we go. Examples with the greatest common factor. Let's look at 21 to start. Okay, let's look at number 21 to start, guys. Is there a number that will go into 2 and 72? You always look for greatest common factors first. What will? 2 will. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to divide these both by 2. You guys with me? So I'm going to have 2, and I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. So basically it turns into n squared, yes? What is 72 divided by 2? 36. Now I can do that because 36 is a perfect square. Now we just solve that like we normally just did. Can you do that? And whatever your answer is, I'm just going to put the 2 down here on the bottom. Fair? Next one we're going to do is 24, by the way. That's BTW in text message. Okay, so we got n plus 6, n minus 6. Okay, that's done. My 2 that's on the front just slides down as part of the answer. Okay, everybody good? Now, let's look at number 24. Is there a number, let's talk about just the numbers only. Is there a number that will go into 45 and 20? What is it? 5 will. So I'm going to divide out the 5. Now, if you notice, I left a little bit of space there, didn't I? Probably because there's going to be something else. Okay. All right. What is 45 divided by 5? 9. And then what's 20 divided by 5? 4, right? Now let's talk about the Q's. How many Q's do they have in common? Hold on. There's 3 of them here, and there's 1 of them here. So how many do they both have at least? They all have at least 1. A factor. They both have 1. So I'm going to take 1 out of each and put it right here on the front. I'm taking 1. Remember we did this? We take out 1. How many Q's are left right here? Nope. How many are left here? There's 2 left here. Are there any left here? No. So now factor that. 9 is a perfect square. 4 is a perfect square. And you got Q squared, right? Solve that. Go. You can do this one. We're fine. Don't overthink it. What's the square root of 9?
3.
What's the square root of 4?
2.
And then what are we going to put in both of them? We have a Q squared, right? So I'm going to have, so if I do this, it should be 3Q. 3Q, yes? That's done. The minus sign, so I'm going to go plus and minus. 4, positive 2, negative 2. I'm just going to bring this 5Q down and make it part of the answer. One more, and then I'm done. One more, and then I'm done. Everybody look at number 23. 23. What do you notice? Hold on. Is there a number that will go into 32 and 18? Hold on. They're both even. So what is there a number? 2 would. Okay, we could divide out the 2 if we wanted to. But here's my problem. I have an S squared and a U squared. Do they have anything in common there?
No.
No. This thing is prime. This one's prime.
That means 25 is prime also.
Do what?
That means 25 is A squared.
Actually, hang on. Hang on. I might be wrong. I am wrong. Check this out. We just said that 2 will go into both of them, right? Yes? Watch what happens. What's 32 divided by 2? 16 what? 16s squared. We can't bring out a letter, but I could still do this. 19u squared, right? And then watch this. What's this? This perfect square. What's the square root of 16? 4, and then we have s and s, which is what? S and s, right? No, hold on. Then we're going to do this, plus and minus. Now let's do 9u squared. 3 what? U and 3u. That was my fault. That's my fault. We just couldn't do a greatest common factor of a letter. That's my fault. I was looking at it going, something's not right. Okay? Yep, that works. 100% works. Kinley. I want to do one more, just for the heck of it. I'm trying to find a good one. I'm trying to find a fun one. This class, I think, can handle it. Let's do 28. I'm going to pick 28. Go. Can I give you a hint? Your greatest common factor is going to be 8. Go. 8 will go into both. Go. I know that you guys are going to forget a lot of this when you go on spring break. I get it. Okay, so I'm anticipating having to go back over some of this stuff when we come back from spring break. Okay, so don't feel bad. I'm not going to be. It happens every year. Okay. All right, here we go. What's 8 divided by 8? 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 there. What is 32 divided by 8? 8. What? 4. Negative 4, right? X squared. There's no x's that match, so I'm going to put an x squared here. Yes? The x just comes down because does this have an x on it? So that stays as part of the answer. Okay, so that's done, that's done, and that's done, that's done. Okay, now let's talk about the y's. There was a y. We took a y. Are there any y's left? There was a y on this one. We took one out. Are there any left? No, we basically just brought this one down here. How many y's were here? 3. How many did we bring out? 1. How many are left? 2. We just subtracted one of the y's is all we did. Now, just do the math. What's x squared? X times what? X plus minus. What's radical 4? 2. And what about y squared? Y and y. Term by term, number by number. I see a lot of nodding. It got a little harder. They're not all going to be that hard, okay? Look for greatest common factors. Look for square roots, all that good stuff, okay? You guys can go ahead and take a break, okay? Click like, subscribe, share with your friends. Okay. Thanks. Thanks. Are you saying hi? Oh.